Jindal Steel is up about 1.5%. SAIL is looking good. Yesterday, the day belonged to the likes of a Tata Steel. Metals has been the jack in the pack. Are you expecting the outperformance to continue? And of course, which are the top buys in the metal space where you still see value?
Well, I think the cyclical uptrend has started for metal undoubtedly, and I think this is going to be for a 3-year cycle at least, looking very clearly, minimum 3-year cycle as I see it. Maybe it could extend more. On one side, we are seeing a kind of a capex which is happening in India, which is basically driving the demand in this part of the world. Other side, America is already pledging $1 trillion worth of amount for building the infrastructure. So once again, I think the metals are going to be in proper demand in America as well. So if you are looking at the growth coming in from metals or metal space, I think it is these areas, infrastructure areas in different parts of the world, which is basically driving the metal demand. Fortunately, the crude oil prices are remaining, I think, on a steady level. So obviously, I think the metal prices are not going to be running up in hurry. At the same time, cost is going to be lower, which is positive as far as metal business is concerned. We continue to like, I think, the non-ferrous space, and I think we believe that I think opportunities are still there in some of the companies, given the kind of volume growth plan that companies are having. Even the ferrous space also, I think we have a couple of companies where we feel that I think the opportunities could be larger going forward. Yes, I think in the commodity space, you will have to be mindful of the fact that I think market gives you opportunity during a fall. During the fall of any corrective nature, I think that is the time to add into the portfolio, I think, the commodity stocks, because the cycle is looking reasonably positive for next 3 years.
Right, just a quick mention of the flashes on your screen, and staying with that metals theme, we get agencies are indicating that China has ordered further curbs on steel and aluminium production. This could be another big reason why you're seeing such a sharp rally playing out for metal stocks in morning trade. Remember that so far the play has been commodity stocks have rallied up not because of improvement in demand, but simply because production cuts have been set up in China, which have given a boost to the way commodities have been playing out, and therefore the way metal stocks have been trading all over the world. Some more curbs coming in China on steel and aluminium, and that's going to give a further bump up, or rather is responsible for the rally you're seeing playing out for a lot of these metal stocks. Gaurav, very quickly, anything that you've identified in market opening that looks like a good stock to buy or sell?
Well, Ultratech Cement looks good. One can go long in Ultratech Cement about 3,800, have a stop loss of 3,770, play for targets of 3,900 plus. That is one name that looks, it stands out. But other than that, I'm just looking. IRB looks good. One can have a stop loss of 238, play for targets of 250.
Right. Rakesh, anything in the auto pack? Tata Motors is continuing to see some buying after yesterday's rally. The other auto majors also not looking too bad. So could these be stocks that one could look at acquiring today?
Well, like Tata Motors is definitely looking good, and in today's session we have witnessed a positive crossover on the momentum indicators, the kind of technical structure Tata Motors is having. I feel like Tata Motors can demonstrate a rally towards 467, 470 levels, and among the auto space, like I also like Bajaj Auto. The stock is moving in an excellent accumulation phase on the downside. Like stock is having a good base at lower levels, and at 2750 level is a good support, and once the stock cracks 2820 levels on the upside, that would be a breakout on chart. I feel one should look at Bajaj Auto like in the two-wheeler space, and among the like mid-cap space, Gitanjali Gems is looking very good. Like I feel like stock is likely to demonstrate a good upside momentum. Stock is a good buy, stop loss 64.40, target 77, and among the mid-cap private sector banks, I feel around the price of 162, 163, one should consider buying Lakshmi Vilas Bank. The kind of technical structure Lakshmi Vilas Bank is having, I am expecting at least 10 to 15% move in next 10 to 12 days on the upside. My conservative targets are 187 on the upside. One can buy Lakshmi Vilas Bank with a stop loss at 152.80 on the downside.
Now, what are you making of those auto numbers? Clearly, auto majors are beaten, or at least out of the woods with regard to demonetization. Things weren't looking too bad when I saw those auto numbers. Saw the likes of an M&M, Eicher, Tata Motors, Ashok Leyland, and Maruti. What is your take? Anything you like in the auto pack? Could it be time to go out and pick up some of those auto names? Deven, that question is for you.
Yeah, I feel that I think the auto companies are likely to show better performance going forward as well. On one side, we have got if you notice the GDP numbers and if you see the farm growth which is coming up, agricultural growth which is coming up, it is distinctly suggesting that the rural economy is on move. It is picking up very well. In fact, I think buoyed by the last good monsoon, the rural economy is indeed, I think, showing a distinctly better performance. And that is where I think you would see a larger demand coming for pickups in commercial vehicle segment as well as I think the farm equipment business. So the likes of Mahindra and Mahindra, Tata Motors, I think would certainly find favor with the kind of a rural economy demand growth that we are seeing. On the other side, rural roads are being developed at 133 kilometers per day kind of a speed, which is again suggesting that the truck movements are going to be increasing in this particular area. So LCV, HCV put together could be, I think, a distinct choice of buying, and Tata Motors can't be missed out on this particular aspect, given the kind of a revival that we are seeing in the commercial vehicle space. Two-wheelers definitely I think still not catching up as fast, but I believe that I think the festive season coming in different parts of the country, I would think that I think two-wheeler sales are likely to pick up. It's a matter of time. So overall basket, if you look at, I think commercial vehicles, two-wheelers and the four-wheelers, passenger vehicles, I think they are all looking interesting. The companies which we find interesting enough is, I think, on one side Maruti is in the passenger vehicle segment, Tata Motors in commercial vehicle segment, and Bajaj Auto in a two-wheeler segment. I think these are the three companies which we find interestingly positioned for investors. Of course, I think it's a long-term investment call. Those who are planning 2 years and above, for them I think this is a good story in making.
Gaurav, a couple of top gainers in the mid-cap space. I'm just going to give you those names and tell me how they look. So Nalco is up 6.5% at 76. Jubilant, that already Moj talked about, is up 5%. GMR is up about 5%. Intellect Design, another one that's been lagging for very long but is in a recovery. I think, Moj, this was one of your top picks as well this morning. Vedanta, Hindalco, any of these stocks that one could look at maybe for the next day or two?
Well, Intellect looks good. I think it can head again higher. You can expect 7 to 8% upside from the current level. So it's bounced back from the lower levels. RSI is getting positive. So I would recommend going long on that. Jubilant Food I'm still holding. The reason is that we have seen a lot of consolidation happening in Jubilant Food. So if levels of 1,040, 1,050 sustain, then 1,100 would be on cards. So a small dip, even a 10, 12 rupee dip in Jubilant Food can be utilized to build long positions.
Right. Rakesh, just before I have to quickly wrap up this conversation, anything that you've identified after market opening that you like?
Like I've already discussed Reliance Capital. I'm liking Reliance Capital too much. The kind of technical structure stock is having, I expect a good up move from here on. And like among the cash counters, I also like ExxonMobil. Here the liquidity is less. The current price is around 1540, 1544. I am expecting a price target of 1620, 1630 in the month of March. I feel like any 20-25 rupees decline on ExxonMobil is a good buying opportunity.
Deven, very lastly, what are you doing with DLF? Of course, we've got news that they have sold 40 or will be selling 40% stake in their retail arm for what, 14,000 odd crores. Does that change the dynamics, because it is going to impact their balance sheet positively in the near to medium term? Is DLF a buy, and if yes or no? And of course, anything else in the real estate pack that you're recommending?
Well, I think one important aspect to note out of this particular deal is, of course, I think for DLF it is going to be a very important deal because 12 to 14,000 crore worth of balance sheet debt is going away. I think it would be, I think, a great opportunity for a company like DLF to, I think, come back on the stream. At the same time, the most important part is that at this juncture, when GIC kind of an organization has shown appetite to buy into the realty business, I would think that I think it is signaling a big turnaround for the economy on the real estate side of the activity. It's a matter of time that I think we should be seeing a large transactions, I think, coming up from some of the bigger players into this space, which I believe I think could be giving you a larger amount of opportunity going forward. So yes, in general the real estate portfolio should be doing well in coming times. And at the same time the transaction should work good for DLF in next 6 months or 12 months. I think we should be seeing the effect of it.
Right, thanks, gentlemen. We're completely running out of time. Good talking to you and getting some perspective on market moves today. A quick check on the Nifty trades at a new 52-week.